Hi, welcome on to ArsenalFanTV. Now it's time to preview the game. Arsenal versus Chelsea. Chelsea will be visiting the Emirates Stadium, and I'll tell you what, this is going to be a really, really tough game. We dropped points against West Bromwich Albion. Listen, to be fair, we shouldn't have dropped points. We did play badly in the game, but listen, we should have got a 1-0 win. Well documented how Mike Dean, the referee, decided to give a phantom penalty to West Brom, which cost us those points. But what it's done now is left us in a predicament that this game really starts to become a must-win game. We're 6 points now behind Liverpool in that 4th place spot. And that's what we're playing for this season, to try and get into that top 4. And if we don't win this game, we're miles off. We're starting to be miles off, especially when you look at the way that Liverpool are playing. Tottenham are starting to hit form again. Chelsea have been on a bit of form. Manchester United, they got a win at the in their last game. City are their way out of it anyway. So this is a must-win game, in my opinion, for Arsenal. And it's as difficult as they come. Chelsea, put on top of that the fact that Arsenal have got lots of injuries at the moment. We are in a little bit of an injury crisis. And this is really, really going to be a tough game. I mean, Chelsea, as I said, are on a bit of form at the moment. They had a big win over Stoke at the weekend, beating them by 5-0. So that's really good for their confidence. They were able to rest players. Out of their last 5 games, they've won 4 and they've drawn 1. Although, speaking to a lot of Chelsea fans, the way they're talking, I think they're getting a little bit carried away, because most of those games that they've won in that 5-game run, you would expect them to win. You'd expect them to beat Stoke at home. You'd expect them to beat Brighton at home. You'd expect them to go and beat Huddersfield away. So whilst it's been a very good run for Chelsea, they're games that you would expect them to win. Although you would expect us to beat West Brom. We would have beaten them had it not have been for the referee's decision. But then you could also argue that if we would have played better on the day, we wouldn't have needed to have been relying on Mike Dean to make a correct decision. So listen, it's going to be a tough game. Now, Arsenal have got a bit of an injury crisis at the moment, and it really is a crisis, especially at the back. No Nacho Monreal, he's out injured. No Laurent Koscielny. Listen, Wenger was saying that he's got a 30% chance of making it. That means, unless he's playing mind games like what he did with the Lacazette thing, that means that Koscielny will be out as well. So that's a real crisis at the back. No Monreal, no Koscielny, probably the 2 best defenders in the team, even though Koscielny hasn't been playing great recently. Who comes in at the back to replace them? Do you bring in Mertesacker, or do you bring in Rob Holding? Or do you bring in both of them, you know? So that's the situation there. There's also no Sead Kolasinac. He's out as well. He got injured in the game against West Brom, so he's out. I presume that Maitland-Niles is going to come in. And whilst Maitland-Niles has done okay when he's come in for a young guy and he's shown glimpses of really good play, he's also shown bits of sloppiness in his play, bits of inexperience that could have led to goals against other teams. And against a team of Chelsea's quality, with guys like Hazard and people like that running at him, he's going to have to be 100% on it. And even if he is 100% on it, he's going to have problems. So, you know, it's going to be a real tough ask. Mesut Ozil, will he be fit? Now, there's still a bit of doubt over him. I kind of get the feeling that Ozil will be fit for this game. He had a slight knee injury, and in my opinion, he was held back for this game against Chelsea. But certainly lots of injuries all around the park for Arsenal. Of course, we know that there's no Giroud. He's not available. So you haven't got that plan B that you can bring off of the bench. And it's going to be it's going to be really, really tough to win this game against Chelsea. As I said, they're buoyant at the moment. They're actually in 2nd place, remember, at the moment in the league. So it's going to be a tough ask. Now, remember last season, it was one of our best performances at home when we beat Chelsea. We destroyed them 3-0. But that was a full-strength team. We were really, really up for it. And in this game, the top players are going to have to be on it. Jack Wilshere, very important in a game like this. Mesut Ozil, if he's fit, extremely important. We saw what we were like without him against West Brom. The creativity weren't there. We know that Chelsea are a very, very good team defensively. He's going to have to be on his game. He's going to have to deal with Kante as well. So he's going to have a very, very good game. Alexis Sanchez, who's been on a bit of form, even though he didn't play well at the weekend, he's still that driving force for Arsenal right now. So, you know, he's going to be very, very important. What sort of team, then, will Arsenal be putting out in this game? Well, I reckon it will be checking goal. I think we'll go for a back three. Now, this is where it's going to be interesting. Who do we put in there? Wow. I suppose you're going to have to stick with Chambers because he's played a couple of games and Rob Holding hasn't. So Chambers, Mertesacker, I think because of the experience, maybe we'll get in there. And then also Mustafi. So that'll be your back three. Then, as I said, Maitland-Niles are probably going to have to come in on the left-hand side with Bellerin on the right. Bellerin's going to need a performance in this game. Xhaka needs a performance. He can't be sloppy in this game. He's going to have to play better. Jack Wilshere's been playing well. Ozil, if he's fit, definitely got to be in there. And then the front three now. Now, listen, for me, or that front two, or whatever you want to call it, but I just label it. It's not almost like I'm free when it's all coming at you. Obviously, Lacazette's got to start the game. Alexis has got to start the game. The other player that I bring in, I wouldn't have Iwobi in this game starting from the beginning. Welbeck, for me, has to start. I mean, there's even an argument for Theo Walcott. I know people slag him and slate him, but he scores goals. And we're going to need to score in this game, and he's an experienced player. But maybe he's been kept out of the team because he is on his way to Southampton or wherever. That's the only reason I can think. I know he hasn't been brilliant this season when he's came in, but I can't see how Alex Iwobi, for instance, is getting in the team ahead of Walcott unless we're looking to move Walcott out, which is then fair enough. You don't want him to get injured or something. So that's going to be the team. It's going to be down to the bare bones in a lot of positions. But then having said that, some of these players that are coming in have had to come in already this season in important games. And don't forget the cup final. In that game, it was Holding and Mertesacker who had to come in, and they did a great job, and we ended up winning the game. Chelsea is going to be a tough game. I think they're the team that have won the most at the Emirates. I think them and Man United. So they've got a decent record at the Emirates. They'll be buoyed, as I said, by their recent performances. But we've got to remember last year when we beat them 3-0. We've got to remember the cup final when we beat them. We've got to remember earlier on this season, the Community Shield, we beat them. We didn't lose to them also at Stamford Bridge. So we've got to keep that mentality in our head that we've turned the corner against Chelsea. If we could win this game, it really could get Arsenal back on track after a really sort of funny, dodgy Christmas period. Last 5 games, you know, we've drawn too many of those games. You know, let's have it right. We've drawn too many of those games. But if Arsenal put a performance in, and that is by defending right, not like what we saw against Liverpool or Man United at home, a tight defence, and then get the ball into those areas quickly with the dangerous Alexis, Lacazette, and hopefully Welbeck up there and Ozil, we can hurt Chelsea. We can win the game. It's going to be very, very tough. I think if I'm making a prediction, I'll probably have to err again towards another draw. It's going to be a tough game, but it's also a game that we can win if we are brave. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below, but looking forward to the game. Arsenal versus Chelsea. It doesn't get much bigger than this at the Emirates. Really, really looking forward to it.
Subscribe to ArsenalFanTV.